Hey everybody, it's Shawn Foxx, and of course, as you can see, I'm back and I'm in the studio. It's now my one, two, three, four, technically fourth day back after getting back and getting better after the virus. I'm now out of the hospital just over 2 weeks, and it occurred to me that I had said thanks to everybody who commented and showed up on our Facebook page and sent well wishes and prayers and that kind of stuff. But I had not really said a lot of thank yous to the nurses and the doctors at Unity Point Allen in Waterloo, because that's where I was. And I did say thank you to them personally, as they were there. And because they go in shifts, I mean, I saw a lot of different nurses. I saw a few different doctors who were all focused on COVID-19, of course. But I was alone other than when they came to take blood and check my pulse ox, or if I had to go to the bathroom. By the way, this may be a little bit of, too much information, a little TMI, but because I had oxygen, I had something on here, and I got things tied to me, I really couldn't even go to the restroom by myself, which was in my room. Because one, I was already not breathing very well because I had that forced oxygen that was helping. But because of that, I couldn't walk very far without having a coughing fit. Plus, I was attached to all these things, so when I had to use the restroom, I had to ask for a nurse who would then come in and help. But when I mean help is the fact that they would either bring me the little, I don't know, cup thing that I could urinate into, or it was the what they call a commode, which is essentially it's like a toilet, but it's not. It's a bucket under a seat. And I'm sorry, but that's about as demeaning as it gets. I had a really hard time having to use that. I had to use it, but the nurses had to, help me up, and I had to sit down and do my business. Luckily, a lot of them would stand in the bathroom, which was, out of eye shot of where I was. And so I appreciated that. Some just left the room so I could do my business. But I'll tell you what, that was one of the worst parts. Besides not being able to breathe, that was one of the worst parts of having the virus and having to be in the hospital. Having to do your business either in front of somebody or on this thing that wasn't. Anyway, so I really need to say a big thank yous to all the nurses who helped me out, to the doctors who were checking on me, and of course to the doctors who said and decided, Shawn may be a candidate to have that trial from Mayo and having the plasma infused so he could get those antibodies. Maybe talk to him and see if that's what he wants to do. Thank goodness they did, because it did work. I know it worked. And so I got to say thank you to those doctors. I got to say thank you to all the different nurses who dealt with me. And I'm saying it now mainly because of the fact that I'm pretty sure that maybe the nurses who worked with me the whole 5 days I was there didn't realize who I was, which was fine. I don't technically realize who I am either. But if you know the nurses who were on the COVID floor at Unity Point, Allen, Waterloo, make sure you forward this to them, or you let them know that there's a video they need to see, and then they can see all the different videos that I took while I was in the hospital and stuff like that. But make sure they see this, because this is a true heartfelt thank you to these men and women who helped me out. And I got to say, when it comes to people who have asked, are you going to donate plasma as well so that you can help other people who have the virus, who need the antibodies? Unfortunately, I am not really able to, because I have very small, deep veins, and it is really hell for anybody to try to take blood from me. One day it took 3 different people trying, which left bruises all over my arm that lasted like 2 weeks. But there was one woman, she was my pal. Unfortunately, she only came the one time, just the one time. Long braids, African American. I told her, I said, no, I'm not a good draw. I am hard to find those veins. And she's like, I think I got it. And she's tapping around, and all of a sudden, and boom, she hits it first try. She was the only one in 5 days who hit that vein first try in my arm, as opposed to the back of my hand, which is where everybody else had to get blood, which hurts like hell. But I just got to say that. Right there in my arm, bam, she hit it first try. As soon as she did that, I gave her a high five. And then the rest of the time I was there, I never saw her again. I was like, can we have that other woman come back and get blood from me? Because she's the only one who doesn't dig in me and doesn't hit. Unfortunately, she only was there for the one time, which sucked, because everybody else had a hell of a time trying to hit that vein. And they had a heck of a time trying to draw blood. And so I had bruises all over me. I was in pain. It wasn't a good situation. But I got to say thanks to everybody who did help me in there, because they were there for everything. They brought me my food. They checked on my pulse ox. They checked on my breathing. They gave me my medicines. They gave me the medicines that I needed through the IV. They were there to help me go to the bathroom. And then once I started feeling a bit better and I was off the oxygen and I could start walking, they were walking me in the halls as well. So these men and women, these nurses and doctors did wonderful while I was there. And I can't say thanks enough to these people. And honestly, if you ever have to be in the hospital and you've got nurses and you've got doctors who are dealing with you and helping you in every way, don't forget to thank them, because they are doing a lot of work, because you are not their only patient. They have a whole floor of patients that they need to deal with. So just remember, say thank you, because chances are you may be one of the only people who do while you're in the hospital. So again, if you personally, who are watching this video, know some of the nurses or doctors who are working the COVID floor at Unity Point Allen, you know some of them, reach out to them, let them know about this video, send them a link or whatever, and tell them that they should see this, because I am personally saying thank you to all of you for helping me out while I was in there and wondering if I was even going to get through it. But I did. So I got to thank you all for that very much. And thank everybody else for paying attention, following along, and asking how I'm doing. So I'm doing much, much better. Things are getting better every day. And I started singing once again. I cough up a little bit to the point where I have to stop singing, but sometimes I can sing a few lines without having a cough. So things are getting better all the time. If I have to rate my sickness as to whether or not I can breathe better, I rate it by how much I can sing. I don't know if that's right, but you use a lot of breath when you sing. So again, been doing a little bit more of that. Thank you so much for following along. This will be my last video, because I think I'm pretty much over it, and now I'm just healing and recuperating, and it shouldn't be very long before I'm back to 100%. So thank you so much to the nurses, the doctors, Unity Point Allen in Waterloo, and thanks so much to everybody else who wanted me to get through this and helped me get through this with their prayers and positive energy and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you.